Hey everyone, happy Thursday, day 4. Thursdays mean it's a gym day today. Trying to stick on my New Year's resolutions, one of which is video, so I'm feeling really good about that. Doing a lot of video, sharing a lot of cool tips, so I'm pretty excited about that. But the gym one's getting a little difficult, especially when you're not feeling great. Maybe that's not really sleeping. I'm kind of getting a cold, but we're going to power through. We're going to go anyways. So it's just about 9 o'clock now. Oh, thank you everyone for all of your sweet messages yesterday about my heat. It is back. They're definitely having some kind of an oil shortage around here. Apparently it's been all over the news. Somehow I missed it. But a lot of people have been struggling to get oil. So we were very lucky. They came pretty quickly, and we're back to normal now. So that's good. So day 4, we've been talking a lot these past couple days about writing content. So researching some keywords, coming up with some blog ideas, scheduling your content so you make sure that you stay on top of it. So hopefully you're feeling really inspired and ready to just knock a bunch of content out this year and write some really great blogs, really connect with your audience, really start driving some serious SEO traffic to your website. Hopefully you're feeling really pumped about that. But now that you've kind of written all of this content, you're probably thinking, okay, now how do I get people to read it? So outside of the whole SEO factor and search, which is always great, what's next? What can you do to promote your content, ideally for free, because that's my favorite price. I'm sure it's your favorite price too. And that usually always fits in a budget. But what can you do to really kind of promote your content? So everybody knows about social media. We talk about social media all the time. Yeah, we love to post on Facebook and Pinterest and Twitter and Google Plus and all of those sites. Those are always great resources. Outside of that, what are some other resources? So I have a really cool list of some resources that you can utilize for free that maybe you haven't thought of yet. So after posting on social media, the next thing that I really like to do is I like to schedule an email campaign. So email, we've talked about before, is still a really great resource for connecting with people right in their inbox, so right where their attention is. Email has definitely become a little bit crazy lately. There's more and more people email marketing. You're getting more and more emails in your inbox every single day. But it's still an effective tool. And in many cases, it's either free. So if you use MailChimp, it's free up to 2,000 subscribers, or very inexpensive. So to me, it just makes sense as a great tool to use. When I send out my content via email, I like to keep it very simple. In that email, it's literally just a little bit of the blog with a link to read more, to drive some more traffic to my website. I don't like to kind of inundate that with salesy stuff and links to a whole bunch of different things and asking for a whole bunch of different stuff, because to me, when I write a piece of content, I'm there to inform people. I'm there to give people some sort of piece of information, and I don't want to dilute that message with a bunch of sort of salesy things. There's a time and a place for sales, and I absolutely believe in it. But when you're sending out your content via email, I feel like it should just be sending out your content via email. After that, I then like to kind of check out in social media groups. So this is a great place to kind of go get some attention and some organic reach in social media that you may not be seeing on your actual page. So especially on LinkedIn and on Facebook, you can kind of search for groups. So you can search for groups that either have to do with your business, have to do with the topic that you're talking about. But here's where you have to be careful. You can't just post your blog in a group and say, read my blog. It's really important. Read my blog. It's going to come across as spammy. It's going to come across as inauthentic, and it could get you kicked out of the group. So what you should do is kind of scroll through some of these groups and see if someone's asking a question that your blog, your current blog, or even any of your past blogs can answer. It's a great way to just sort of, write a comment underneath saying, I have some really great tips to address this issue, or I have some really great information on this topic. Check out my blog. I break it all down in there. Just something that's really just kind of casual. You're not pushing too hard, but it's just a great place to post out your link and get people back to your website. After the social groups, another great thing to look for are online forums. So outside of actual social media sites, there's tons of online forums about any sort of topic that you can imagine. Again, here is where you're going to really focus on being authentic with posting out your content. So again, it's looking for people asking questions or saying that they have a problem or an issue that your blog or your business can solve, and posting underneath on those topic threads. Here's a really great article that addresses your question. Let me know if you need any more help. I'm here to help you, that kind of thing. The next thing that you can do is look for news sites. There's tons of news sites out there that let you create a login for free. So you can create your own login, you can post your content, and you can get it out there to the masses. So here in Rhode Island, I use Rhode Island Small Business Journal a lot. That's a really great resource. It's got a great following of business owners, so it makes sense for my business. There's some national ones, like patch.com is a great one to create a login. Any sort of local ones in your community or anything that's specific to your industry. Do some searching. See about what news outlets out there have an online presence and possibly would allow you to post your content to them. They're great ways to get in front of a larger audience than you normally would on your own. The next thing you want to look at, so we've gone through really fast. Let me slow down. We've gone through a bunch. So if you're just logging on now, go back and watch earlier, but we've talked about email marketing, we've talked about social groups, we've talked about online forums, we've talked about news sites, and now we're going to talk about third-party publishers. Third-party publishers are sites, there's a couple like Medium or LinkedIn Pulse. They're basically ways or there's resources that will disseminate content for you. Some of them are free, some of them may have a cost associated with them. So just kind of maybe do a little bit of research on them, see what they offer, what their packages are. For some people, it may even be worth it to actually upgrade and to pay a little bit to get your content disseminated out further. But they're great resources because they will help you sort of find places to push out your content that maybe you haven't thought of yet. And finally, this we kind of teased a little bit in the email, but it's working with friends or complementing blogs and getting your content out there. So one of the blog ideas that we talked about on day 2, that 2 is blog, was getting a guest blogger into your site. Well, now how about looking to become a guest blogger on someone else's site? See what you can do to get in front of their audience, which is an audience that you're not necessarily in front of traditionally, in exchange for them getting in front of your audience. So that's called essentially a blog carnival. It's when you and at least one other person, if not a group of people, all agree to write content and trade all among the group. So you're posting on all of these different blogs, all these different people are posting on your blog. It's just a really great way to just sort of get a quick jump in your content. It's also, for me, I find I try to only choose guest bloggers that actually add value to my audience. So I don't feel bad about, having other people come in. I think it's just a great way to expand upon just what I know and actually introduce, all of these other people and what they know and all of their great knowledge and just give even more to my audience. So take some time to kind of do, this one can take a little bit of research, especially when you're looking at groups and forums and things like that, trying to find the ones that make sense for your content, as well as scrolling through, reading all of the comments, posting yours in an organic way underneath. It definitely can take some time, but it's such a great tactic for driving a ton more traffic back to your site. And if you're in a situation where you'd rather spend more time than money on promoting yourself, these are some great ways to do it. So hopefully you'll spend kind of this week or next week writing some blogs and getting it out there, sharing all of your knowledge with the world. And I will see you back here tomorrow at 9 a.m. for our last day, day 5. We've made it through a whole week almost, talking about paid advertising. And specifically, I've decided, I was really thinking, there's a ton of stuff out there about Facebook advertising. There's a ton of stuff out there about kind of like banner ads and things like that. So I was just kind of thinking, you know, sort of what can I talk about that maybe hasn't necessarily been inundated yet? So we're going to talk specifically about Pinterest advertising tomorrow, which I'm super excited about, because no matter what your business, I think Pinterest is such a great tool. And I think a lot of times businesses dismiss it because they think, well, you know, I'm a lawyer, or I'm an accountant, or in my case, I'm a marketing professional. Pinterest is just for recipes and weddings. And it's not, I promise you. And there are some really great resources in their advertising section. So join me back here tomorrow at 9 a.m. We'll chat about some Pinterest, and feel free to drop some questions in the comments here. If you have anything on the comments about today, shoot me an email. I know a lot of you guys have been sending me some emails, which is pretty cool. If you have any other questions, and I will see you tomorrow. Have a great day.